The atrocities committed by the Nazis during the Holocaust are well documented, but the full extent of their brutality towards women in Auschwitz remains shocking even today. Women, both Jewish and non-Jewish, were subjected to unspeakable horrors at the concentration camp, including rape, medical experimentation, and forced sterilization. In today's video, we will be showing you what Nazis did to women in Auschwitz. Without further ado, let's begin. The experiences of women in Auschwitz are often overlooked in discussions of the Holocaust, but their stories are just as important as those of the men who were imprisoned there. Auschwitz was the largest and most infamous concentration camp in the Nazi system. Built in Poland in 1940, it became the centerpiece of the Final Solution, the plan to exterminate the Jewish people. Over 1.1 million people, mostly Jews, were killed at Auschwitz, but the camp also held many other prisoners, including women. The women who survived Auschwitz often faced unique challenges, including sexism and misogyny from both the Nazis and their fellow prisoners. One of the most shocking aspects of the treatment of women in Auschwitz was the forced prostitution that occurred in the camp. Female prisoners were often forced to have sex with Nazi guards or other prisoners in exchange for food or other basic necessities. This practice was not officially sanctioned by the Nazi authorities, but it was widely known and tolerated. The Nazis also frequently subjected women to humiliating and degrading treatment, such as forcing them to strip naked in front of male guards or other prisoners. The women were often forced to undergo humiliating medical examinations, during which they were groped and prodded by male doctors. The Nazis used these tactics as a means of exerting power and control over the women and further dehumanizing them. One of the most horrific things that the Nazis did to women in Auschwitz was rape. The guards and other male prisoners often sexually assaulted female prisoners, both as a form of punishment and for their own pleasure. The women were powerless to resist and often suffered physical and emotional trauma as a result. Medical experimentation was another brutal practice carried out on women in Auschwitz. Doctors at the camp conducted cruel and often fatal experiments on women, including sterilization procedures, injections with deadly diseases, and amputations without anesthesia. The women were often used as guinea pigs for the Nazis' twisted scientific theories, and many died as a result of these experiments. Forced sterilization was also a common practice at Auschwitz. Women were often subjected to sterilization procedures without their consent, which left them unable to have children. This practice was part of the Nazis' eugenics program, which aimed to eliminate people who were deemed inferior or undesirable from the gene pool. The living conditions for women in Auschwitz were also horrendous. They were crammed into overcrowded barracks, often with inadequate food and water. Many women were forced to work long hours, doing grueling physical labor in harsh conditions. The Nazis also subjected the women to frequent roll calls, during which they were forced to stand outside for hours on end. One of the most famous examples of female resistance in Auschwitz was the uprising by the women in crematoriums 4 and 5 in October 1944. Led by Rosa Robota, a Jewish woman from Poland, the women managed to steal gunpowder and explosives from the Nazis and use them to blow up one of the crematoriums. Although the uprising was ultimately unsuccessful, it remains a powerful example of the strength and courage of women in the face of unimaginable horror. The atrocities committed against women in Auschwitz and other concentration camps are a stark reminder of the dangers of hate and intolerance. The Nazis' actions were a deliberate attempt to dehumanize and destroy an entire group of people, and the women who survived their brutality should be remembered as heroes for their resilience and courage in the face of such unimaginable horror. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.